In this game from 2018, chess grandmaster Hikaru Nakamura, playing as black, crushed his opponent Jorge Boules in just 25 moves at the 43rd Chess Olympiad in Batumi. The game began with pawn to d4, answered by knight to f6. Then came pawn to c4 and pawn to e6. White played knight to c3, and black replied with bishop to b4, entering the Nimzo-Indian defense. White responded with queen to c2, and black played pawn to b6. White pushed pawn to e4, grabbing central space. Black struck back with pawn to c5. Then came pawn to e5, and black responded with pawn takes d4. White played pawn to a3, and after bishop takes knight on c3 and pawn recaptures, black quietly moved knight back to g8. With pawn takes on d4 and knight to f3, white seemed to be building control. But after bishop takes knight on f3 and pawn takes back, black had already damaged white's kingside structure. Then came knight to c6 and knight to e7. White tried pressure with rook to g1, but black calmly developed rook to c8. After queen to e4, black played knight to f5. Bishop to h3 followed, and knight dropped back to e7, preparing defense and offense simultaneously. White advanced pawn to d5, and black countered with pawn to b5. White played pawn takes on e6, and black delivered queen to a5 check. The king moved to f1. Then came pawn to dec6, queen to b7, and black castled kingside. The tension grew with pawn to c4, tearing open the queenside. After queen to e5 and rook to d8, white tried rook to e7, but black responded with rook to d1 check. King moved to g2, and then knight to h4 check. With king to h1, black struck with queen to e1. White played rook takes e1, but after rook to e1, bishop to f1, black ended it all with rook takes f1, checkmate.